longer than expected, but everything's good now. Both these players are ready, so Terminus is the map choice.
Yes, it is.
So let's get underway with the second semi-final. Looking at the schedule, the finals is meant to begin. Actually, everything's actually running rather smooth today, which is awesome. Yep. Production's kicking ass, so thank you, Ian. Over there. Thank you, Zachabus, as well, for doing the chat and so on, and adverts.
He's not banning enough people, I don't think.
Not banning enough.
You need to ban more people.
Ban more people, Zachabus.
Yeah, anyone that ever says anything stupid, ban them. Just
so the final, the introduction to the final, talk about both players starts at 6:45, so in literally half an hour. So things are looking good.
Yeah. And these guys have both picked blue. What a wonderful colour choice. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Mouse Sports MaNa. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the north of this particular map. Versus opponent in the blue trunks, it is NightEnD. He is playing Protoss to the west. Dear Lord. That's actually really annoying and is going to make finding stuff very difficult, but oh well, we'll deal with it.
It's PvP, man. It's usually pretty fast.
Yeah, it's PvP. It'll be over in 5 minutes. Not a problem.
So, once again, we actually have MaNa with a little bit of a lead, always. You know, he's a little bit faster with his split.
Yep.
And that could be actually looking at both bases. I think that difference is because MaNa's like pairing his probes up. Excuse me, a lot more than NightEnD is. NightEnD actually isn't doing any, so that's what it makes a little bit of a difference. You know, it's about 3-4 second difference, but makes the biggest difference in the world, even though it's
all
a
small things.
slight thing.
Yep.
And there goes a 12 gateway coming down for MaNa, and likewise. Oh no, likewise. Am I wrong? No, that was a 12 gateway once again for.
Couple of seconds difference, not huge.
Indeed. So 12 gate for each of these guys. This map you can do anything, man. You can really do anything.
Yep.
It's usually a more of a 4-gate map. You can 4-gate quite well here, and likewise against 4-gate you can play Blink Stalkers very well here too. So it really is down to what these guys want to do. There's nothing really map specific about this, so we'll see. And there goes another Chrono Boost by MaNa, so 3 compared to just the 2 of NightEnD so far.
Interesting stuff. Usually what that will mean is, of course, that if you want to put in 3 Chrono Boosts there, you're probably looking to just play an economically focused game. If you put in 2 and you save 1, then you may be looking to Chrono Boost the Cybernetics score, of course. Yeah. And that's very likely to happen here, I think, from NightEnD.
So, I mean, since a 4-gate may come out from NightEnD, you could see the 3 Stalker Rush from MaNa. He hasn't taken the second gas yet. He is building a Zealot, though, so probably not. Well, he can't afford the Gateway because you replace it with the Zealot.
Yep.
But never mind. Over in NightEnd's base, he is actually not getting a Zealot, so this is interesting. He's just going to go for a double Stalker straight away.
Yep.
He may actually Chrono Boost one of the Stalkers out too, because if he doesn't, the probe's just going to stay in there for so long that he can get a lot of scanning information. There is a second gas taken there by NightEnD, so looks like double Stalker coming out, and a Chrono Boost into the Nexus, which is really weird from NightEnD.
Well,
doesn't make that much sense, because if you want a 3 Chrono Boost, then do it straight away. Unless you want to save up for something, but
maybe. I mean, the other argument could be that he's just showing a Chrono Boost on the Nexus deliberately to his opponent, knowing that, of course, if his opponent sees his Chrono Boost getting very high, he's going to be very suspicious. You've said it before, it's mind games in PvP.
Maybe. And, yeah, we'll have to see what he does decide to do. Meanwhile, there's a Robotics. Wow, that was fast.
All right.
1-gate Robo. As soon as the Stalker comes out, so it's hidden. He can go for 4-gate Warp Prism all in.
Yep.
That's pretty much a build you can branch off here. It can also be a very defensive play as well if you go for a very fast Immortal. So let's have a look. What's what's MaNa doing? Second gateway does go down, and he has got 2 gases, so it could be just like a 3 gateway. Very defensive to start begin with. Make sure you have enough sentries to hold anything. Meanwhile, in the base of NightEnD, what's going on now? So he actually builds a pylon instead of extra gateways here, and if you wanted to go for 4-gate warp in, you get them in before the 34 supply. So. Doubt we're going to see any huge aggression from NightEnd's. Probably just going to play it pretty safe.
Yeah, that seems to be the way of it. The 3 gateways coming out right here for MaNa, almost complete. There we go. We've got another gateway going for NightEnD here as well, and another after that. Will there be a 4th? No, not at the moment anyway. And in the meantime, engagement coming in as MaNa tries to pressure his way in there. He's got the probe in there as well, and actually he wins that engagement, which really is not supposed to happen. He's supposed to have the 3 Stalkers out to prevent that from happening, but he didn't really have that. He only had the 2, and Oh my, oh my.
Yeah, it's pretty good for MaNa.
Yeah,
a
not
lot
bad.
of probes pulled off. He's killed a few as well.
Killed four, yep. It's good.
And now he's scouted as well, which is very important, and knows what exactly is going on. He sees the robotics facility down, and there's the Immortal out. So there's not going to be any huge aggression. Meanwhile, having scouted that, he throws down his own robotics facility. So against this, when somebody goes, both of them go for robotics facility on their own kind of terms, you're probably going to go and see an expansion come from it, and then the other guy is going to go for what we're seeing from MaNa here is the Twilight Cancel.
Yep.
So I expect NightEnD. Oh, actually, he's going to throw it down as well. So oh no, he cancels it. Oh, Robotics Bay. So this is going to come down to super fast Colossus versus Blink Stalkers, and it's all going to come down to control at the end of the day. Can MaNa blink and snipe the Colossus? And on the other hand, can NightEnD not allow that to happen? And depending on who does it better, will probably end up winning the game.
Stressful stuff, one way or the other from these guys. Observer is out. NightEnD spots the Twilight Council. He knows what's going on in that respect. MaNa, on the other hand, pretty much blind to that Robotics Bay. No idea what's going on in that respect.
It could have been an expansion. It could have been Robotics Bay, of course, and could have just been for like a 2-3 Immortal push as well. So he has built a pylon once again. Very good. Every single game he's done this, so he can build a Zealot to go in and scout later on as well. But meanwhile, let's have a look at this. There's an Immortal coming out, and he basically, if you go for a 1-base Colossus, you don't have enough for Thermal Lance.
Yep.
So it's going to be a lot easier for MaNa to go ahead and snipe, especially with an Immortal in there as well. It's going to make it a lot more complicated, and there comes the expansion now from MaNa as well. But while he's expanding, he has to do or try and pressure around with the Observer and Blink. Yeah.
Interesting that he goes for a second Immortal there, but obviously getting a Colossus at this point does cost a huge amount of gas that he doesn't currently have. So he's going to throw a couple of Immortals in there, knowing he's going up against Blink Stalker as well. 2 Immortals in that composition is going to be very, very strong indeed. We'll see how that one goes for him.
Well, basically, he wants to go Colossus, but at the same time, he doesn't want to just go on 1 Immortal, because it looks like from his vision that this is just like a 1-base still. It's Blink Stalkers, Observers who can get placement, and he doesn't want to having to split his army up with only 1 Immortal. If you split your army with 2 Immortals, you can have 1 with each split. So it's a lot more defensive against Blink Stalkers, and now he starts his Colossus production. And basically, he's going to have to push out with 2 Colossus to fight. If he doesn't push out with 2 Colossus, MaNa's economy is just going to go so far ahead. He's got the expansion up way before NightEnD is. NightEnd's not even looking for one.
Yeah, and here he goes. MaNa's going to get just a little bit aggressive, wants to poke up there, do some damage. Of course, he's not going to commit with 2 Immortals in the mix. That would be unwise. But takes a Zealot for free. Doesn't need to worry too much about that. Gets some information about the number of Immortals in that composition, but still has no idea about this Robotics Bay. This Observer from NightEnd's been really, really defensive and has enabled him to keep this Observer out of the base for the moment. Now a single Colossus comes up, and NightEnd would, I imagine, love to try and get rid of MaNa at this point so that Colossus isn't spotted early.
Really good control there too by MaNa, doing a lot of damage, picking off the probes as well. And against this, we do have the Observer scouting out the transfer as well. So he knows that he's facing up against a heavy probe count. He has to go now. So NightEnD has to go now. He has to do damage right now as well. On the mean hand, I don't even think MaNa has enough. He hasn't been warping in units consistently. He made extra gateways to defend against this too with cutting units. He has to pull everything down there and defend. The good thing is he has force fields that can cut this army up, especially the Zealots at the front. And with Blink as well, he may be able to do this, but he doesn't have any Colossus of his own. It's going to have to come down to Blink Stalkers jumping on the Colossus and killing the Colossus.
That's going to be a tough engagement, especially with those 2 Immortals there and the Zealots in to defend that. I mean, that's a good Zealot count here from NightEnD. Army supply count is in favour of NightEnD as well. Admittedly, a lot of that supply is eaten up by those 2 Colossi that are now on the field. Will he wait for the second one to get there? Yes, he will, before he decides to go in.
Yeah, nice spread out from MaNa already. He's getting ready to accept this attack, and a nice little concave as well. Going to accept it really beautifully, where NightEnd's going to come in clumped up, and that's not going to be good for him at all. But simply because it's going to allow MaNa to jump from different angles onto the Colossus. But there's a lot of Zealots here, so if he does it, he has to be so careful. Look at that spread. Beautiful position.
Yeah, it's good, and there go the force fields coming down right now, and that's going to filter those Zealots quite nicely.
Colossus is staying alive for a long time, man.
And Colossus going to, of course, stomp on those force fields. You see, he opens up a path there. Let's see how that one goes. MaNa's got still 3 Immortals at the back. That one falls. Okay, 1 down. And MaNa needs to try and focus down the second. He's able to do that. Nice defense right here by MaNa. He crushes it, and NightEnD is in a serious amount of trouble now.
Yeah, 3 Immortals making a huge difference. I love the patience from MaNa as well.
Definitely.
waits till all the zealots are gone before jumping in.
GG. NightEnD knows he's got nothing, and MaNa advances to the finals. Very convincing and very patient defense
the
there.
finals, I'm getting excited.